Hello, so I've had some of the feedback forms and I went through them and I wanted to basically do a video so it's more accessible, but also I will do this in a written format as well for people who would prefer to read it, basically to try and help you a little bit more. So one of the main things that we received was about finding your niche. So your niche is really important, and the niche is basically who your target brands are going to be as a model. So I am a curve model. There's things that I can't change about myself, or at least can't change about myself right this second. So I have brown hair, my hair isn't very textured, the colour of my skin, I have tattoos, I have brown eyes, my teeth, the body that I'm in, the height that I am, they're things I can't change about myself. The things that clients are going to want to book me for. So I have a commercial look. I don't have an editorial look. It doesn't mean that I can't do editorials, but I'm more commercial leaning. So what you want to do as well is look where there are models like you as well. But it doesn't mean that you can't push boundaries, but 9 times out of 10, a client is going to book models that they know that their audience is going to resonate with. So, for example, it's quite rare that you see fitness models who have lots of piercings or tattoos, as an example. Or fitness models that have bodies like mine. These are clients that we're going to be putting you forward for that are most relevant to the brands and clients that you're going to work with. So what's good is to look on websites. So go on to websites that you might shop on through like their e-com and have a look. Do I see any models that look like me? And they don't need to look like you, but there's a genre of models. Things like ASOS, they will have the model's height underneath and the model's dress size. So if you don't see your height in any of the models that are on their website, it's unlikely that you're going to be booked by them. It doesn't mean that we won't advocate for change, but that's an industry thing rather than a client thing. So we're going to push you forward for clients that are most relevant to you and your line of work. Or it might be that you have a very niche look, and that means that your client pool is much smaller. And being completely transparent, it's really frustrating for us and how the industry is going, because there is a lot less demand for non-binary models, curve models, petite models. There is just so much less demand than what there was just a couple of years ago. And that's not a reflection of you, that's a reflection on the industry and the rise of right-wing conservatism, and that's something that we are going to continue to push back against. But it's important that I'm transparent about how the industry is at the moment so that you know it's not a you problem. For example, I will use Tom Ford. So go to women, let's just go dresses, and then show some examples of the models that they use in their e-com. Really good thing to do on like websites of brands that you're interested in and might be your goals of who to work with. And it's really important that we are setting our sights really high, but also like being realistic about our goals as well. We don't want to set our sights on a brand who won't ever book us, because it's really demoralizing and affects our self-esteem when we realize actually, oh, like this brand that I've always wanted to work with won't want to work with me. There are so many other brands that will want to work with you. So it's about understanding who you are, what you sell, what category do you fall in. We're not going to market you towards clients that aren't appropriate for you, because it wouldn't be progressive for your career and it wouldn't be progressive for our agency as well. Another thing that we found is that people were saying the turnarounds are quite tight. I totally hear you. The turnarounds are tight and they are stressful, and unfortunately this is something that is beyond our control. If a client has asked for a self-tape on Wednesday and it's Monday, that unfortunately is beyond our control. Or if there's a casting that's tomorrow, we can't change this, and we only find out when we find out, and we let you know as soon as possible. It is frustrating, and I know that it can be quite stressful, but unfortunately this is the nature of the industry. Sort of piggyback that point as well, the best practice is keep your calendar updated. If you have a job on Wednesday, or if you have dentist on Tuesday, like keep those things, just constantly send us updates. We are going to assume that unless you've told us that you're available, just to ensure that we are putting you in as many packages as possible. Some people said, but I've told you my availability and I keep getting asked if I'm available. We do that on the basis of Sometimes you might not be available because you've told us you've got the dentist on X day for an hour, but the job might be £20,000. I feel it would be unfair if we didn't ask you on that basis, because things might be able to be moved around and changed and swapped, and you never know. So it's important that we ask you when it's big opportunity still. Someone has said, where do my self-tapes and digis go, and will they be used? Yes, they are used every single day. We put them in packages, so I will show you an example. So here are some of our packages that we send out, and this will have all of you in there. This is all of our models, and then here there is a little link, I don't know if you can see it, and that's to Ingie's indent. So it's really important that you get your self-tapes over, because there will be your comp card, and it will also have your self-tape there for clients to see and see a little bit more of you. So same goes for our website as well. So if we go onto Ingie, I'm using you as an example again, excuse my internet is so slow. So then we have a portfolio here. This is really important, why we ask your forms to be completed and for Google Drive folders to be updated. So then we have your digitals, self-tape, and then comp card. Obviously, if we don't have your digitals or your self-tape, we aren't able to upload those. That's really, really, really important, because we send those out all the time. What are me and Em doing in the background? So I would say 90% of what we do, you guys aren't going to see, because it's like the tip of our iceberg. We're going to be getting in contact, we're going to send all the emails, phone calls, stuff like that. But the vast majority of what we do isn't going to be seen. And that's also intentional as well, because we don't want you guys being stressed or being like hearing all the stuff that we're doing, all the admin. Like it's stressful for you. That's why you have an agent. We send at least 10 packages, at bare minimum, at least 10 packages out a day. And I worked out that's 50 a week and nearly 3,000 packages a year after holidays. Often that's like more as well. So we manage about 90 models, and obviously we don't have capacity to update you individually of each thing that we're doing and the process that we're doing, but also that's intentional, like I said, so that you have time to focus on your creativity as well. Castings and self-tapes. So someone said, do I ever reach out to the client myself? No, so never reach out to the client yourself. There will be instructions in the email of what we need you to do, particularly for a self-tape or for a casting. We can't, unfortunately, make this into a standardized process, because every single client has a different process of what they require, what they need. So what we try and do is we just send what they have asked us for directly from the email. We try and highlight the important bits of information, so when the deadlines are, what they need from you, how they need it. We try and highlight that all, so it's really clear and really easy to understand. It's not always easy to understand, but read the email really thoroughly. Like sit down for like 10-15 minutes and really read the email of what is needed from you, what instructions there are, what links there are, what attachments there are, and really go through it and like take the time to understand what is being asked of you. 9 times out of 10 there is a link that you will need to upload your self-tape to. So just upload it directly to there. There is information in the model's resource guide on how to self-tape. They are always filmed landscape. Landscape is this, and portrait is this. So it's always going to be landscape unless it's asked otherwise. But yeah, never reach out to the client directly. We will always manage that internally. If they ask for your email, put our email in as well, or the email of the booker who has put you forward for something. If you've been asked to tape, that means the client has requested you to tape as well. Just let us know as soon as possible if you can or can't tape. So can we bring back the group chat? Unfortunately, this isn't something that we'd be able to do or we'd be able to host, but absolutely, like, host your own group chats, like network with each other. It's really important that you build a community and you network with each other as well. How can I book my work? So update your book is the number one. Paid tests are a must, in my opinion, until you're at a certain standard where you're booking work, and then you have images from work that you can include in your portfolio. But I have always paid for test shoots. Collaborations and TFPs are really good. but it just means that you might not necessarily get the exact outcome you want because you are collaborating on something. We have lots of different photographers that we work with across different budgets. Portfolio is your CV, and it's like if you have short hair but all of your photos are of you with long hair, you will need to update that. So for example, I was blonde and I had short, like white blonde hair for years and years and years, and then when I went dark, I then had to update my portfolio. That's really important. Keeping your digitals up to date, keeping your self-tape up to date. These are fine just at home. Like it's always nice in the theory to have like professional digitals done. No one really cares. Clients usually ask for at-home digitals anyway because they want to see what you look like now. Go to dance classes. This is really important, like understanding your body, getting to know what your body does and how it looks when you move in certain ways. Film yourself posing, practice every single day on posing, like that's really, really important. Work on your self-tapes, post on Instagram, on TikTok. Our clients watch you and they ask for your socials as well, so they will watch you all the time. Show your personality, and most importantly, be available. You won't book work if you're not available. It sounds really simple, it sounds silly as well, but unfortunately you need so much availability, and you need to be quick with responses. Sometimes it is just who the client wants to book. There are millions of models and thousands of models being put forward for one job, and then there are hundreds of models being asked to self-tape, if not hundreds, at least 50 models being asked to self-tape or cast. Like, there is so much competition, and it's not about you, it's just about who the client wants on that particular day. There isn't a single thing that will improve your chances of getting booked, but when you are booked, be really easy to work with, be fun to work with, be enjoyable to be around, and that will make an impression as well. This won't have addressed everything, but going to make some more videos, but also we are going in the new year, we're going to book in calls as well in developing you. Of course, that is going to be more tailored to the models on an MA. Unfortunately, we just don't have capacity to create a development plan for non-exclusive models. We just don't have capacity, but you do have access to all the same tools. Hopefully these help.